Castelvecchio will start the favourite in the Derby.
And one man who'll be watching very closely is one of the owners and breeders of the beautiful colt, John Messara from Arrowfield Stud.
And it's great to have JM with us right now. John, I know you get a little nervy. This is going to be a cracking race. Let's start with the Derby because Castelvecchio was so good in the Rosehill Guineas.
Timmy and Julie, you've really got me excited with that package. It was, it got the heart going. No, I'm very excited about Castelvecchio today in the Derby. He's had a good prep. It's taken a while to get him fit, but Richard Litt's done a great job and he's ready to go. It's just a little unfortunate about the state of the track, but hopefully he can plough through it.
As we heard in that package, as you just mentioned, Jeff Armstrong, the author, he said that it's the far laps that lift our spirits at times like this. Do you feel like that's what we're searching for at the moment, something to really lift the spirits and a new champion of the track, I suppose?
Well, we need a distraction, and Australians love horses, and I think if we manage to get a great horse emerge from today, it would be a great distraction and something to dream about and think about, rather than worry continuously about the sort of situation we're in at the moment.
Well, John, you were there. You've been around this industry for a long, long time, and Mark Van Gestel, the Chief Steward's going to join us on the show a little bit later on. But one thing about the industry, it learnt a lot about what's going on now when equine influenza was about 13 years ago. Obviously, that affected the horses. This is affecting humans. But a lot of the protocols that were picked up then are helping now.
That's true. We've had a bit of practice at it, and that was a very efficient operation. We were able to work with government to establish zones, and there were certain protocols within those zones. If you were in the purple zone, you couldn't get out of it until the whole thing was over. If you wanted to go into the purple zone, you wouldn't come out of it again until the whole thing was over. And we managed that way to conduct a full breeding season. Certainly the racing was interrupted. And when we came back, there were delays, but we saved an entire breeding season, which meant we saved field sizes for the future. So it was really important. No, we've learned a lot from that. I know Racing New South Wales has that experience there to be able to deal with this.
And how are you dealing with this at Arrowfield, John? How is the staff and everyone going?
Well, for us, it's mainly to do with the people. The horses haven't changed in any way. The horses still need tending to and feeding, etc., and vetting and shoeing, and so nothing much changes except that our protocols have changed entirely in relation to how close we are one from the other, how many in a room. We are following the Prime Minister's instructions and advice as best we can, and we're managing this big space, and so you can spread the people around, and no, it's working okay.
Yeah, what a space it is, and I'm very much looking forward to getting up there and enjoying that antipasto plate.
No, it's my turn next. It's my turn next.
Well, there's no reason why. Hopefully, when we go back up, we can't sort of social distance together. But
hey,
but you've had a bit of rain.
We've had rain. That's what I was about to say. You won't recognise the place. For the last 3 years, it's been, brown and dry, and we've survived it. There's no water in our wells. There's no water in the river. The Glenbourne Dam's down to 39.9%, and it's been a tough go. But in the last few weeks, we've had this constant rain coming through, and the place just looks magnificent. It's recovered so well. I wouldn't say the drought's over yet, because our wells are still empty, and the Glenbourne Dam is still unchanged, and the river's not running. But I think all that will come if this rain continues.
It's got to lift spirits, though, surely, John, because we know how tough it was. I mean, we had the bushfires, we've had the drought, and now this situation. Just seeing that rain fall and the smell of it in the air again, it's got to lift spirits.
Absolutely so. Oh no, I agree 100%. And that was it's a tiny balance for the sort of the virus that's going through and killing people and making other people sick and causing such disturbance. But it's a bit of a lifter for us, I agree.
Yeah, well, let's get back to that lift, that pace, that upbeat, that smile, because it's a cracking day of racing today, John. We've got so many wonderful athletes on show today, and you haven't won the Derby yet. That's going to be quite an irony if Castelvecchio manages to win it and you're not going to be there.
Yeah, it's a funny story, isn't it? I've waited a long time to win a derby. I've run 2 placings over 40 years. Arrowfield's had a placing in the Victoria Derby and a placing in the Queensland Derby. Never won in the Australia Derby, in the Sydney Derby. But here we are. We've got the favourite, and we won't be there. So yeah. Having said that, the family is going to be ensconced in the TV room here, and we'll all be cheering on. Don't worry.
Well, John, thank you so much for your time. Good luck to you. We saw Gay do it recently, sitting at home with the family watching on, so may this be the day for the Messara clan in Arrowfield.
Thank you. Have a good day yourselves.